Welcome back. We have been analyzing the high food inflation that was reported in January and that many economists fear will continue in February as well. I've been speaking with Mr. Ramesh Chand, Mr. Ajay Jakhar and Harish Damodaran. The key takeaway so far has been that cereal output may not be a problem. The wheat crop doesn't look like it has been harmed by high temperatures, and stocks with the FCI could still rise. The procurement has a good chance to be excellent this March. The real problem could be a high price of fodder and therefore high prices of milk rising even further. Gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Dr. Chand, we now have to come to what steps the government can take. So let me start with you. Anything specific that we have to speak about on cereals? I guess bonus announcements for grains is about the only step you would recommend?
No, I will say that if production is affected and market prices are much higher than MSP, then government has to exercise that option for procurement.
Okay.
But it is subject to these two things which I am mentioning.
Yes.
Not that necessarily we have to go for this. And second is that you just mentioned that wheat output is not a matter of concern, but I would say cereal prices are still a matter of concern because they are already February figure you are giving 17%.
Yes.
So whatever decline happens, you still find that they remain in double digits. And given the weight of cereal 12%, so cereal still remain the biggest factor for overall food inflation.
Okay.
Coming to your second thing about this
Fodder.
milk, milk prices. Fodder is one component. Of course, we have data that prices of dry fodder have gone very, very high, very steep increases. But another important component of cost of milk is prices of cakes.
Okay.
What is the prices of oil cakes?
Cake.
Oil cakes, and we have seen that in the kharif season, the prices of soybean remained higher than what was MSP.
Oh.
So, which means that cake prices
will also be higher
because soybean is the largest oil seed we are producing, the largest that oil come from soybean. So that was also a factor for I would say high inflation in milk prices.
Okay.
But moving from winter to summer, I don't think that is going to affect because you then compare previous year summer with this year summer.
Yes.
It's not the momentum which we are discussing right now. We are discussing inflation, which is year on year, that last year March and this year March. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. But even in milk, I think the month-on-month inflation is expected to be close to 0.5%. January was 0.5%, and the expectation is even February could be 0.4 or 5% or 0.5%. Mr. Jakhar, should the answer therefore lie in being prepared with lowering the duties of imported skimmed milk powder or some other such steps?
I'm absolutely against import of milk powder until unless it's a very grave situation, which it is not. But my advice to the government would be to procure at least 20%, 25% more than their targets for procurement, the annual targets which they have according to the plan.
Okay.
Because we've not had a drought in India for many years now. Like 6-7 years, we've had a normal monsoon. And that leads to the fact that chances of a drought increase every year that there has been a normal monsoon. There's talk of El Nino. And should that happen, then India is in a deep crisis. So I think so to prepare, my advice would be to build stocks not for March, but to build stocks lest the rain should fail, because chances of rain failing every year increase with a good monsoon. So that's what I would be focusing on, is have at least 25% more stocks than which is the plan.
Okay.
That's what I would look at.
Fair point. One hopes that they are successful in attracting that much by way of good procurement prices. Harish, policy prescriptions.
No, I think we are not understanding the logic of milk. See, milk production shoots up during the winters, but consumption is less. Okay. And so what happens is dairies convert the surplus milk into commodities.
Okay.
In summer, production falls, but demand shoots up because we have more ice cream.
So you're
we have
saying
more.
we have missed the bus already?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, so we are going to start this summer with hardly any stocks.
Okay.
Already during the winters, dairies have been paying, I think, about 55 rupees per liter for buffalo milk and about almost 40 rupees for cow milk.
Okay.
So we are going to start the summer when production is going to fall and your demand is going to shoot up. So I don't think we should be comparing this summer over last summer, because actually we are starting off with a short supply.
Oh.
So I would be more worried about milk.
Okay.
And as I said, we will know in the next 15 days. But milk, we are still we have a whole season. And the high prices will start inducing a supply response only from the next winter onwards. So we have a long period where your demand is going to increase, but your supply is going to be constrained.
Well, that may be the reason why we are already hearing murmurs of, probably a necessity to import. But I take Mr. Jakhar's point on board as well. Just a final question to you, Mr. Chand. So we should be prepared for high food inflation, you think? If it is not cereal, I think the baton is being handed over to milk. So about 5-6% food inflation is what you see in the foreseeable couple of quarters?
Your
Mr.
voice
Chand?
broke, but I think you have completed your question. I think food inflation may cool down to some extent in the month of March, because we are seeing a sharp fall in prices of potato and onion. You see, that vegetable things which we have ignored.
Yeah.
So I feel that cereal inflation decelerating, and vegetable prices already, we know onion prices are coming down, potato prices are also coming down. So the total effect of these on will lead to some moderation in food inflation in the month of March. That's my take on it.
Okay. Well, that's a positive one. We will know the February numbers, of course, next week. But let's hope that by March things cool down a bit. Ajay Jakhar, Ramesh Chand and Harish Damodaran, thank you very much for joining me and enlightening us about the state of the wheat stocks, the winter food grain stocks, and the possible problems we may face because of fodder shortage and milk prices. Our worries may not be food inflation because of cereals, but food inflation because of milk. That's the main takeaway from this discussion. We wrap up on this show. Thank you.